Have you heard? You could actually have an annuity in your 401k. Why is that a big deal? Well, in the past, they said it was not the thing you should ever do. Why the change? We explain in this episode.
We hope you've been enjoying all the episodes from Secure Your Retirement. If you'd like to keep learning and receiving these episodes, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you receive alerts when they come out. We've helped thousands of listeners get on the path to securing their retirement. Now it's your turn. Let's dive in.
Welcome to Secure Your Retirement Podcast. Today, we are excited to be with you. And I will say, I think this is some big news, really, in a way. So let me give you a little bit of context. For years now, Merce and I have been working with our clients because most of our clients are in that 55 to 75 years of age range. So they're closer to retirement. They're in retirement. And a big part of what you need to think about in retirement is, hey, I need to have income, or I need to have predictability in my portfolio, and I need to have risk controls in the portfolio. And so we have used over the years annuities to do that, fixed types of annuities in particular. And the rationale is that we have always positioned it as kind of a bond alternative, or a way to produce guaranteed income, or a way to give us predictability in the portfolio where we're not worried so much about the volatility. And for years, many institutions have said, don't do annuities. Annuities are not good. Annuities are bad. And really, you kind of had two worlds. You had this world of investments that were saying, let's invest in the stock market and bonds. And you had this other world, which was insurance. And both of them talked negatively about the other. You had the insurance world saying, why would you ever invest in the stock market with all that risk? You can come with us and you can have the safety, you can have predictability. And then you had the other world of the investments that said, why would you ever go invest in an annuity? It's conservative. It's not going to give you as good a rate of return. We can go out and we can, do way better. It's back and forth all the time. One saying bad things about the other. What we have seen occur, in particularly, I will say over the last decade, but really in the last 3 to 5 years. In the last 3 to 5 years, we've seen those worlds come together. And so what we've seen now is that folks that were just being insurance only said, you know what, that's not the right way to be. We need to get over into the world of helping people with investments. We've seen the world of investments basically say, hey, you know what? There is volatility in the market, and we do have a big part of our population that needs to have some safety and predictability. So we need to understand the insurance world. And so those two things have started to merge, and something that has been left out for years and years and years is the ability to bring that into your 401k element. And so just recently, Vanguard made a really big announcement, and that big announcement's pretty huge. I think it's something for us to talk about from the perspective of, why is this a big announcement? So, Merce, you kind of want to jump in. This is an article, by the way, that we read and just thought, let's just talk about it.
Right, yeah. So Vanguard earlier here in December came out with an article with a big announcement that they are going to start introducing within the 401k plans the ability to create income streams, guaranteed income streams. What that really is the ability to purchase an annuity within the 401k plan. This is really big because what Radon was just saying earlier, Vanguard, Fidelity, all these institutional money managers that really own the 401k and the retirement planning space. I mean, if you think about the trillions of dollars that are under these types of plans, these guys are coming out and saying that, hey, there actually is some validity here in providing a portion or having an ability to put a portion of the assets towards insurance-based products that are going to provide some element of guarantees that really the stock market cannot provide. So like Radon said, we've been saying this for decades, and now you've got some of the largest companies, the largest custodians and asset managers coming around and saying, hey, this might be a good idea to consider in your retirement planning process. So the article was really nice to see. I mean, they laid out some good reasons, which we believe are true reasons as to why there's a need for this type of planning as you approach retirement, live into retirement. And basically the reasoning is people are living longer. It's not uncommon to hear about someone living until age 100 these days. And also, traditional pensions have all but disappeared. So if you have a pension, pat on the back. But pretty much anyone, that is not retired yet, doesn't have access to a pension. Very few percentage of the people are going to get those. So the ability to recreate or create your own pension to add on to Social Security could be something very attractive to someone. And another big one, I mean, just think about the year here in 2025, market volatility. And if all of your money is in one type of strategy, which is the stock market, and we've got a volatile year, it makes withdrawal planning very stressful. It makes managing, your retirement income very stressful, because one month you could be up, one month you could be down, and on that month that you're down, are you going to withdraw the same amount of money that you did in the previous month, right? Those are stressful decisions. We want retirement planning to be very simple and easy and predictable, not having to play the market for our withdrawals. And that's really the key, is what Vanguard and a bunch of others have started to realize, is that what matters more as you approach retirement is not growth, or not just growth. Let me say it that way. What matters equally as much as growth is also the ability for predictability and reliability in your income plan. So the focus is being shifted to income planning rather than just growth strategies, because that's what the retiree wants, and they need avenues to be able to get that. So it's not just Vanguard. Vanguard just announced it, but some other large asset managers, large custodians like BlackRock and Fidelity and a handful of others, they've been rolling these out all year to give people access to this type of retirement planning investment strategy that we've been believing in for decades now. So I think it was just cool. I came across this article and I was like, man, you got some of the biggest guys out there that are saying this makes sense. So I'm glad we've been doing it for a long time now. And when you hear the feedback from our clients as we get together in meetings and at client events and stuff, we've got some pretty happy people, just because they're not worried when the market goes down as much. Yeah, are their investments going to lose some money? Absolutely, but are they worried about their cash flow and where their retirement income is coming from? They are not. So what else do we have? Why does this matter so much, Radon?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're not coming on this podcast today and saying, hey, my goodness, this is great. Go get a Vanguard 401k. We just think it's kind of interesting that this industry, that both sides have come together. It does add some validity, I think, to the strategies that Merce and I have been laying out now for a long time. But I think the things that you want to take away from this is, hey, this is something that if I've not considered it in the past, I might want to consider it. That's one aspect. I think the other one is let's talk a little bit about the structure of everything as compared to what you would have in a 401k. So while kudos out to Vanguard for going and doing this, most of our clients have the ability to move their money out of a 401k. And one of the things that we tell them is, by moving the money out of the 401k, it opens up your options. You're not just restricted with the limited options that you're going to get in a 401k. So a 401k a lot of times is going to give you a limited number of mutual funds that you can go pick. You do not have the world of investments. And the same is going to be the case with these ideas of putting annuities over in a 401k. So you might have an option or two within the 401k, but you're not going to have the world of the annuity options. So I want to kind of come back and tell you a little bit about how we do this and how our process works. Is that we're going to look at the entire world of annuities. So if we get a client come to us, we're first of all going to say, what's the objective? Is my objective to just say I would like to have some safety, a bond alternative within the portfolio? Okay, great. Now let's go find the best producing interest-bearing annuity that we can get. And we go shopping. And it literally comes down to, what's the top 3 to 5 annuities out there? Let's say the person comes in and they said, I want the highest guaranteed income. Well, that's a whole different search of what we're going to do. Now, depending upon how much money we're putting over into this allocation, we're going to split this usually between 2 to 4 annuities. Why do we do that? Well, we want diversification. They're all very similar, but it allows us to get that diversification. And I think that's extremely important. So if I am younger and I still believe I want an annuity, or I want to be or I don't have an option but to be in my 401k, okay, so be it. But if I am at least in a position that maybe I've got an old 401k, or I'm 59 and a half or older, getting out of the 401k environment, which is a company environment, and moving over into the IRA, which is an individual arrangement. Now, all of a sudden, I've got a lot more options. But I think, Merce, if we could just hit briefly before we close this episode out of the idea of how we do this with the three buckets. I think that's just how we tie this together.
Yeah. So if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that we like buckets and we like simplicity as well. So the three buckets that we talk about very often are the cash bucket, the income and safety bucket, and then the growth bucket. The cash bucket is your someone would call it your emergency fund. Some would call it your operational cash. Most of our clients are going to be in the realm of saying, I only need $30,000 in that bucket. I need 50,000. I need 100,000, whatever it is. It's your comfort money, right? It's not really going to earn anything for you, but it's going to be liquid and accessible. And then we have the growth bucket, which is what most people know. That's you putting money into the 401k, investing in the stock market, and riding the volatility of the stock market. But over time, we know if we give it time and we give it the ability to grow unhindered, it does pretty well. That's the stock market, but carries a good amount of risk. Right. In between, we introduce what's called the income and safety bucket. So as we approach retirement, as we approach this idea of needing to start creating our own paychecks, we want to have a place that is not subject to volatility, that can still make a decent rate of return, what we would say is a bond or better return. So somewhere in that 4 to 8% average rate of return, and provide us the ability to now withdraw the cash flow needs that we need without ever worrying about this bucket being down because the market is down that month or that year. So when you combine these three buckets together, now we've got simplicity. It's a strategy that you can talk about with your friends and everyone really kind of understands it very quickly. And it buys us the ability to really just have peace of mind because we're not stressed out when we have issues like we've had here in 2025 with tariffs and inflation and the Fed. And then, next year, whatever headlines the volatility brings, we want some money at risk. The question is how much do we want at risk? And the dollars that we are not going to put at risk, do we have it in an effective place that it can drive income? It can also make a return and it can offset risk of our riskier assets. That's really the whole point of this bucketing system that we use. And the big part here, I'll hit on it again because Raiden, you said it, is that within the 401k space, Vanguard's doing it, Fidelity's bringing it on, and you're going to have limited options there. When we roll it out to an IRA, the idea of customization of your investment strategy becomes very, very doable. We can customize it to what you want on the growth side and also the income and safety side. Some may require a rider that's going to bring in guaranteed income. Others may not need that rider and that fee that comes with it because we can effectively just have a safe bond alternative that's going to create the ability for a predictable withdrawal strategy. So customization is the key, especially as we start to cater more and more to the person who wants more from their advisors. We've been doing it for a long time, and we know it works very well.
All right. We hope this has been helpful. We look forward to hearing from you. If you ever have any questions, it's easy to do. You just go to our website, pomwealth.net. Go to the Contact Us page. We are more than happy to have a conversation. Don't forget about our blog as well. It's on the website under the Resources tab. As always, we look forward to talking to you again next week. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Secure Your Retirement. If you would like to learn more, we have actually created an online course called 3 Keys to Secure Your Retirement. This video course helps you to think through all the different steps as you get ready to plan for and live throughout retirement. You can access this by going to our website, pomwealth.net. In addition, you can also subscribe below to our podcast called Secure Your Retirement.
For more retirement tips, check out these videos. Also, if you find them valuable, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like.